Now let's talk about how we can help our listeners understand just a little bit better. You must have a strong you orientation. Here's what we mean by a you orientation. Who is the speech about? You. Right now, I have 55 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes left of that time. That's all I got left. But are those 55 minutes about me? Well, I hope not. That's a waste of your time, a waste of your education, if what I'm saying is about me. It should be about you. Same thing when you get up and you give your speech. Even your personal testimony. You are not giving your personal testimony for yourself. It is for the benefit of your audience, for your listeners. So you always speak with the listeners in mind. It's not about the speaker, it's about the listener. And I'm going to be honest, I think this is an area that contemporary preachers need to recognize. Because a lot of contemporary preachers make the first 5 minutes about them. And just kind of ramble on and kind of talk about themselves. And there's nothing wrong with telling a personal illustration. Self-disclosure in a sermon is good, within boundaries, obviously. But we need to make sure that the reason we tell our personal testimony, the reason we tell personal stories, is for the benefit of those listening. Not to shine a spotlight on ourselves, not to make ourselves look good, but for the benefit of the listeners. So you start with a strong you orientation. When the listeners know there's something of value to them, they're much more inclined to listen. Secondly, critically and creatively think. So you want to help your listeners listen more effectively? Think critically. Think creatively. Think about different avenues that you can use to present your message. The spoken word will work, but it has limitations. For people who don't learn auditorily, they need other means. So think creatively. Third, listen to yourself. And I'm going to encourage you, when we get to the place where we talk about practice, that you rehearse your speech in front of a mirror and you watch yourself, as uncomfortable as that will be. Watch yourself, listen to yourself, even record yourself on a video and then go back and watch it and think, oh dear, I sound like that, I look like that, but you learn a lot by doing that. You learn little intricacies, little nuances that you want to change and correct going forward that you wouldn't pick up on otherwise. Thoughtfully select a topic. You want your listeners to listen? Then choose a topic they're interested in. Don't give them some boring, ridiculous topic that everybody kind of gets eyes glazed. Okay, in 6 minutes this will be over with and my life can continue. Pick something that they actually care about, that's meaningful. You want them to listen? Then use verbal and nonverbal skills well. And we will spend a couple days each where we talk more about verbal tools and nonverbal tools of delivery that will help you more effectively communicate to your audience. Properly prepare and practice. You're going to hear me say that word practice throughout the semester. I don't want you getting up here ready to give a speech when you just completed it at 7:30 in the morning. Hopefully you've got the speech done a couple days in advance, and you just start rehearsing it. Start going through it. Good rule of thumb is minimum 6 times. I would shoot for 10 times. I would try to rehearse your speech 10 times. And chances are, if you rehearse it 10 times, you're not going to rely on your notes. And by the last speech of the class that has to be notes-free, then you're going to know how to rehearse, how to internalize your material, so that when you have to give it without notes, you're ready to do that. So practice, prepare, make sure you're ready. Also, just be aware of any legal, ethical issues, and this specifically deals with using material from other sources. Make sure that you're citing sources, that if you're using video clips, that you have permission from the company, like if it's a movie, that you have permission from them, that you don't just like, I found it on YouTube, so I'll use it. Just make sure that you have legal right to use those materials. On the flip side, what causes ineffective communication? Well, ineffective communication can happen in one of three ways. We'll go through these really quickly. Number one, it could be sender error. So the individual standing up front says something they didn't realize they said, or thought they had something worded very clearly. But when the listeners hear it, they're thinking, I don't think that's what he meant to say, but I'm not sure what he did mean to say. So it could be a sender error. The person up front makes a faux pas. Could also be the environment. Could simply be that we come from different cultural backgrounds, so the kind of way we communicate, there's a disconnect. So there are 4 cross-country runners here in this class, and there's a text thread. And Adam's laughing. So I told them Saturday, I need a translator for your lingo. Say, I'm in the same exact culture as you 18 and 19-year-olds, but I don't understand the way that you talk. I don't understand your lingo. It's a part of your culture. It's a part of your DNA that disconnects with me. And so even though we have the same culture, there's an environment that's not being shared. And so there can be a difficulty in that.